Sure thing. So do keep in mind that while Nagas and Asuras do overlap, they are not exactly the same thing. There are certain Asuras that are not Nagas. So Asuras are in many ways seen in a similar capacity to how certain Abrahamic faiths describe and label Nephilim or fallen angels. These are essentially the Elohim, the mighty ones, the Anunnaki of the earth and of the inner earth. Keep in mind that the more physical something gets, the more its consciousness becomes like a matrix, a mineral crystal matrix. Think of the most earthy of animals. Their rational mind, their discerning mind is lesser. They are oftentimes more instinctual. They're more set in their ways. So certain asuras represent very ancient beings whom were very high frequency. And through continuing to densify themselves in an exploratory way, they became more and more and more and more bestial. And that is why they are seen as hungry, ravenous, demonic beings. There can be asuras that relate to anger. There are asuras that can be related to lust. There can be asuras that are related to power. And these are beings, just like all of you, whom gained a great deal of power and focused on whatever they focused on. For many of these beings, they focused on lower things. They took the occult power, instead of aiming up towards ascension, they aimed down. And now they are like the mineral. They're like the cattle. They're sort of set in their ways. They have their nature. And they have their own corresponding realm that they oversee that is a mirror image and likeness of that nature they have cultivated. Nagas, on the other hand, the Nagas are much more neutral. With the Nagas, you do have positive and negative, but as a whole, they maintain the foundation. They work with the vibrational essence of many realities, and this is why they are sometimes seen as the reptilian archon controllers that are pulling the strings. They maintain the vibratory organization of many levels of the earth plane. So there are some that have evolved themselves in tremendous ways that are upwards. There are some that have evolved themselves in tremendous ways that are downwards. But at the end of the day, they see themselves as the organizers of the physical matrix scaffolding. They know all the secrets. They know the ins and outs of physical reality. They are genetic specialists because they're a part of that framework. And humans that work with them are granted this knowledge. They're granted this wisdom. If a person interacts with a Nagas before they are ready, it can shake them to their core because they're a foundational type of being. So they can see into the core of themselves. And that is when the Nagas can seem more like an Asura. If they are perhaps not an integrated human, they'll translate the Naga as a more demonic or perhaps malevolent type of being. So when one works with the Nagas, it is very important that they have neutralized themselves, their own fears, their own insecurities. So that way, when they have the interaction, it can be a truly auspicious interaction. Because remember, the Nagas are a foundational vibrational being. So if a person interacts with them and projects a great deal of fear, the Nagas is going to mirror that back on a very vibrational level. And that can turn into chaos energetically. So if you seek to work with these beings, have the proper approach. Think of the way you'd approach a snake in physical reality. But think of a spiritual snake that can tell you about the secrets of the universe. That's the attitude to have. Before you interact with the Nagas, I would advise you to watch some videos of people who catch cobras. Take that in. Let that be a symbol you arm yourself with. Not so you can catch the Nagas, but so you can know the mindset of seeing from their view. And that will make you more their equal. You'll have a more neutral interaction with them.